Okay, wait. Let me start with explaining the the what? The summary first. Okay. I did the summary already. Okay, so basically, before we go anything, you need to understand that right now we're doing cellular respiration, right? Okay, before anything, I need you to look at this. This is how the structure of ATP will look like. Okay, now ATP, you need to understand that everything, I don't want this color. Okay, that it is made out of macro, the nucleic acid as macromolecule. Okay. Why? Sebab this one we have phosphate group. We have what is this? Pentose ke hexose? We have the sugar, ribose sugar. Sorry, ribose sugar, and then this one we have nucleic base. Actually, nucleotide base. Okay. That is why it is considered as nucleic acid punya macromolecule lah. Okay. Because ATP stands for adenosine triphosphate. Triphosphate meaning 3-phosphate group. This one. Okay. Now, for every single phosphate kan, see phosphate 1 binds with phosphate 2, binds with phosphate 3, and then it binds with the ribose sugar. Okay, this one is what we call as high energy bond. And how to know antara all this bond? Let me write. First, oh wow, so thick First bond and second bond. Which one has the highest energy bond is the number one. Always make sure that when you want to I don't know how the exam question gonna be like, but if they ask you to maybe like bagi tahu mana satu has the highest energy bond, at least you know lah that the highest energy bond will always be this one, paling hujung, like the paling hujung is what? I don't remember the English word. Paling hujung. Always the paling hujung one. This one is always the highest energy. Okay. So if I cancel this one, and then we have 2-phosphate, so yang ni lah has the highest energy. Okay. Padam balik. It's so ugly. Later you write yourself lah. And then we go to cellular respiration. Inside cellular respiration, there's 3 things we need to know. First, ATP, how ATP is produced, aerobic and also anaerobic. But today I'll be talking about this one and this one only. This one specifically. This one not yet. I might touch a bit lah. This one no, because if not the video is going to be very long. Okay. We go to ATP. This one is what I said lah just now. Okay, you need to understand that this one ATP is the size is small and is soluble because we have polar. Why polar? Why polar? Later I show. But it's because of the negative punya charge dekat bahagian phosphate. And then the currency of the energy we know. Okay, stores high energy in phosphate bond also I've already explained. ATP to ADP, which is hydrolysis. Hydrolysis meaning splitting lah, or like lysis is what? Breakdown. That's the word, breakdown. So it will release energy. And then ADP, adenosine diphosphate, turns to adenosine triphosphate. Synthesis. Synthesis meaning formation. So if you want to break down, obviously you release energy, what? Because you break down this 3 phosphate into 2 phosphate. So in order for you to break down, you need some energy. Okay? Satu. This one also important because my teacher asked to know stuff. So, okay. We go to ATP synthase. We have three types, okay? First, we talk about substrate level phosphorylation. We have oxidative phosphorylation. We have photophosphorylation. Now, substrate level phosphorylation is basically adding of phosphate lah. Oxidative phosphorylation requires O2. Photophosphorylation only happens in plants. Photophosphorylation occurs in photosynthesis. Now this one does not happen in bacteria. Why, you may ask? Because this takes place in matrix of mitochondria. Okay. Alright. And then we go to aerobic respiration. Aerobic requires oxygen. And then macromolecule is glucose because you want to break down into the product kan. So the end product of glycolysis, also glycolysis happen in cytoplasm, meaning to say that all living organism undergoes glycolysis. Now, does that mean bacteria also undergo glycolysis? The answer is yes. What about virus? Is virus a living thing? I'm not sure. Plants? Yes. Our eye cells? Yes. Basically everything that is living, everything that is breathing, everything that is with life will undergo glycolysis. Why? Because this happens in cytoplasm. Okay. So the end product, you'll get 2 pyruvate, 2 ATP, 2 NADH, 2 H2O. Settle. Everything 2. And then this one you look for yourself lah. We go to link reaction lah. Link reaction is the second process after glycolysis. Okay. This one occurs in cytoplasm, and then this one occurs in mitochondria, meaning bacteria don't have link reaction. So the product is 3 only. 2 acetyl-CoA, 2 NADH, 2 CO2. This one byproduct, so you just ignore. And 2 acetyl-CoA, if I'm not mistaken, it will be going to Krebs cycle. 2 NADH will be involved in oxidative phosphorylation. And then anaerobic is basically does not require what happened? It does not require or does not consume oxygen lah. Okay. Happens in cytoplasm, and then we have glycolysis only. Okay. This one later you do lah. Okay. We finish, and then we go to where's my lecture notes? Okay. This one I'll cover in next video. Hold on. Because it's very long. But no, actually can. The glycolysis I'll cover in the next video. This one energy. This one you read by yourself. This one ni important. This one very important. Okay, because this one is basic overall process. But inside the process also got another process. That's why we need to learn glycolysis, Krebs cycle, link reaction, whatsoever. Okay, carbohydrate or glucose is the main substrate. Blah blah blah. What's the function? What's exactly ATP? This one you need to know. This one very important. They might ask Adanin. Then this one I already explained just now. Okay. This one, short term is called glucose, long term is glycogen, starch, or triglyceride. Okay, now, fun fact. This one I explained just now already. Okay, let's say if we do young human versus old human. The process of biochemical reaction is very high. This one is very low. The breakdown of glucose also very high here. This one very low, very slow. The formation of glycogen, the glucose turning to glycogen also very high and very fast. This one is very low, very slow. Okay, that one you need to know. Now you're probably wondering, does that mean that if we have like more fats when we're old, is it even more harder for us to lose the fat? The answer is yes. Okay, this one you read by yourself. This one also. Okay, we talk about catabolism and anabolism because I'm not sure whether you guys understand or not the anabolism and catabolism. Okay, for you need to understand catabolism, how to remember cat, meaning that cut or like separate or like break down. Then the other one, anabolism, is basically the opposite of it lah. Okay, I give you example. So when we talk about breakdown, we know that glycogen is basically just glucose with glucose and more. Okay, so it's basically a very long chain of glucose that eventually will form glycogen. So now, because we're talking about splitting, splitting or breaking down, obviously from something that is bigger or something that is very long into something very small. Okay, so when glycogen breaks down into energy, into glucose here, guys, not energy. The energy will it will go to, hold on, betul lah. Okay, hold on kejap. Sorry. When the glycogen breaks down from glycogen to glucose, kan it will release energy. The energy that is being released will then go to ADP, okay, which is adenosine diphosphate with the inorganic P to form ATP. Okay, so that is the first process. Tapi at the same time, you need to understand that catabolism and also anabolism happens simultaneously. So what happened in anabolism pula, when we have a lot of glucose, we have a lot of simple smaller molecules. We're trying to turn the simple smaller molecules into something that is more complex and more bigger, so that it's a lot easier to handle. So given that we have glucose, we need to form glycogen. This one is not typo. I'm simply put as to indicates that we have a lot of glucose to form glycogen. So to form the bond between the glucose, meaning like this bond, so all this bond, okay, you require energy. So where do you get the energy from? It's from when the ATP breaks the high bond of energy phosphate group, this one, they break down, okay, so this will form the ATP tu jadi ADP plus PI, okay, to supply the energy to the glucose. So meaning to say that all the energy will be going to the it goes here. So that's why dia ada bond. Okay. Now what is this? Okay, and then synthesis of ATP, we have three kan. The one that I said, substrate level phosphorylation, we have oxidative phosphorylation and also photophosphorylation. We go to substrate level phosphorylation first. This one occurs in either cytoplasm or mitochondria, doesn't matter. So I give you example, we have compound. So inside the compound, you have substrate and phosphate. So the substrate akan release the phosphate and it will go to the ADP, thus ATP is produced. Sebab you need to understand, this one is addition of phosphate. Okay, dia tambah PI to form ATP. Sebab yang ada right now is ADP, but we don't want ADP, we want this one. This one. We don't want this one. Okay, so this one, the more specific one, we have the substrate called phosphoenol pyruvate. This one you will understand when I explain about glycolysis later on, because this one is quite important. So when we have the substrate, okay, and then we have it's bonded with inorganic phosphate in molecule. So this one kita tak nak, because kita nak form ADP ni jadi ATP. So we just let go of this phosphate to the ADP. So the ADP will take the inorganic phosphate to become ATP. Thus the substrate will then become the product without the phosphate, named as pyruvate. This is the end product of glycolysis. And we have two molecules pyruvate. For the oxidative phosphorylation, this one happens in mitochondria, occurs in aerobic organism, requires oxygen, not in bacteria. So alcohol, fermentation, lactic acid, yeast and lactobacillus, blah blah blah, this is no oxidative phosphorylation because they don't have oxygen. And then we have photophosphorylation, is basically ATP can be formed in photosynthesis lah. This one in photosynthesis in chapter 2 kot, maybe we're going to learn more thoroughly. I'm not sure, I don't remember. And then this one, glucose, for redox reaction, you need to understand we have oxidation and also reduction process simultaneously. So this C6H12O6 will then be oxidized into 6CO2, and then the 6 oxygen will be reduced into 6H2O. There's a process here dekat sini involving the coenzyme. We didn't touch, did we touch about the 2 coenzyme? Did I not explain about the 2 coenzyme? Okay, never mind. I'm not sure where is it inside the slide, but the 2 coenzyme is NAD plus and also FAD. This one got 2 roles. Hydrogen carrier, not hydrogen carrier lah, it's actually hydrogen ion carrier and electron acceptor. This one also related to glycolysis. Okay. Oh, it's this one. Okay, sorry, I didn't realize. This one. You realize this one? I explained just now already. So how do you get the electron from? Okay, this glucose kan. This one glucose. I take the hydrogen. I'm trying to break hydrogen from the carbon because I don't like carbon and hydrogen being friend together. So when I try to take away the hydrogen, what will be released? Electron will be released. So that is why we have two function in coenzyme, because if they take hydrogen also, they have to take electron also. Sebab takkanlah you biar electron seorang-seorang. At the end of the day, it's going to be even more negatively charged. It's going to be very weird. Okay? Also, when it takes hydrogen, it will be reduced into this one. This one very important. I know this video very fast, but then you slow lah. You try to understand slowly. And then glycolysis, actually, this one cannot skip, okay. Glycolysis happen in everything, okay, every living cell. So after glycolysis, only then it will see whether if got oxygen, it will go to aerobic. If got no oxygen, it goes to anaerobic. Anaerobic very easy one, sebab sikit je, either ethanol or lactate. Aerobic, we have link reaction, we have Krebs cycle, we have oxidation phosphorylation. See, NADH, this one is acetyl-CoA ada dua, NADH also got two, link reaction is pyruvate kot, I think. Okay, kan I think so lah. Okay, never mind, that's all. Next we go to glycolysis. Okay, bye bye.